It's gardening. Okay, so in the meantime, we're going to talk about this Minibeckia. There's nothing mini about it except that it's more compact. And so Minibeckia can get kind of, or Rudbeckia can get a little out of sorts and kind of big and lanky. We have 1,400 of these left, and you get one for a price tag of $31.25. And we'll talk about these because they are hugely popular and they'll bloom all summer for you. So that's so nice. Come on in, Court. Let's talk about these Minibeckias.
Oh, this is my pleasure. The Minibeckia Flame is the newest cultivar of Rudbeckia.
Yeah.
And this is a spectacular plant. A plant like this does not come along very often, like once in a decade.
Yeah.
This plant is what all blooming plants would like to be, whether or not they're annuals or perennials.
Yeah.
The plant that you're looking at right there, Mary Beth, is what you can expect to get in June. And look at all the buds. Those are all real flowers.
Wow.
And beautiful green leaves. These are sun-loving plants. But what's so incredible about them is that, let me show you up close here, by July, so that's what you're getting, you're looking at right now on my set.
Yeah.
But by July 4th,
there's Eric.
This is what you can get. This is right outside of Eric's house, just like you plant your elephant ears, he plants these, and they are nonstop. They're gonna be blooming June, July, August, September, October, up to the first or second heavy frost. And they are nonstop. At our trial gardens, when you go to any trial gardens, you're going to get little flags on metal stakes. The visitors walk around and they put those flags next to the plants that they are impressed with the most. These get the most flags of anything, and they do it early in the trial garden, say July 15th, and they get them late because they're still looking more beautiful in September. So, and what I also love about them is they are not coming in little grower pots. These are in full half-gallon size pots, and many of them will be blooming right out of the box, just like you see here.
Amazing. 4 dozen of these are gone. And again, we are down to getting close to a limited quantity. We've got about 1,400 left, but I'll tell you this. One thing I wanted to just ask you, oh, I know what I was going to ask you. These leaves are so unique and different. They are fuzzy, fuzzy leaves. Look at that. Why would that be? What does that mean?
Well, it means a deer won't eat them, that's for sure.
That's good.
But it's just the nature of the plant. They're so soft, like a lamb's ear or grandpa's whiskers. And look at the beautiful green leaves on those plants. And again, the plant that you're getting, looking at right now is just what you can expect, say, Father's Day. But then by July 4th, boom, it's just full of flowers. This is the plant, again, I just want to say, yeah, that's me with one of my plants, and that's still actually in June, but they grow so fast. A plant like this does not come along very often. It's spectacular. It blooms better than most annuals all summer long. It's a winter hardy perennial. It takes temperatures down to -10 degrees below zero. And look at the layers of petals. Most Rudbeckias have only one single layer. Here you get 1, 2, 3 layers of flowers on your
petals,
plant. And they pair wonderfully with the Asclepias. They pair wonderfully with lavender. And these are sun-loving plants. They're spectacular.
You had told me earlier, you said low maintenance MB and high performance. And that's, I mean, once again, what we love to hear. And whether it's the Asclepia or if it's going to be, you know, the Echinacea, which is very low maintenance.
Yeah, you see them with the Echinacea right there.
Yeah.
So if you picked up that Echinacea, definitely get these. These are yellow, maroon, flame-like flowers. They're going to be the highlight of your garden. Now look at that. Oh my gosh, with the reds and yellows.
Yeah,
The
can you
can
see
is in
which
the
ones
back.
they are? They're the ones that are like the second grouping in from the left, right? Those
That's correct.
echinacea?
That's
Okay.
your middle size, the mid part of your garden bed.
Yeah. Oh man, these are amazing.
And they
150 sets gone, by the way. Go ahead, Court.
and these keep going. It's so we all know about annuals because they give their best and they're so strong and blooming like you're looking at here, but only do it for one season.
Yeah.
This plant, all annuals, any kind of perennial, wish it could be this plant because look at the number of flowers that you're getting. And
Right.
it's not just for a few weeks out of the year, then they peter off
Yeah.
and they say, I'm done. No, this plant in the heat of the sun just keeps going. I'm not done. And you're looking out there at your beautiful Minibeckia and it says, I'm still not done. I'm keep going. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to be the first one at the party and the last one to go home.
I'll tell you, this is such a great plant. And I really wasn't as familiar with the Rudbeckia. And then you were telling me the Minibeckia, it's not that it's so mini, it's just more compact. It will get about 3 feet high and 3 feet wide,
Yeah,
but
some
it's
get
not
like
going to
6 feet
get
tall.
yeah, it's not going to get 5, 6 feet and just kind of all over the place. I want to remind everyone, and just in case you tuned in, you know, and you haven't been watching for since we started an hour and 45 minutes ago, every one of these plants, no matter what you order, comes with the growing guide, and it not only has the name of the plant, it has a picture of it, and then you come inside, it will tell you how tall, how wide, how far apart to plant them, all these planting steps, then what do you have to do to keep it, you know, going and all of that. And then on the back, tips for success, and then there's even a phone number you can call in the back in case you have questions and all. So it's just the best way to reserve your plants for when you want to actually, you know, plant these. And when it arrives, I love how the boxes will come and it'll say live plants. So
Yes.
you already know what's in those boxes. Open those
Yes.
boxes, give them a drink and give them some sun and give them
Yes.
some light because they've been in the shipping process. And then, you know, plant them as soon as you can, but they will still be fine for a couple of days. Go back to this. This is, show me that plant that you're going to send out to us. Oh,
This
man.
is it. It's not in a small little grower pot. This is a
No.
full 1/2 gallon size plant. Most will be blooming right out of the box. So from this to this in just a matter of a few weeks, and then something spectacular a few weeks later. Let me show you. Go ahead, Doug.
And Court, I wanted to mention, you know, where I have these growing at my house, I actually planted around 5 or 6 of them together. I like to call that a mini mass planting. And that's really the best way to grow these is because you can see the way that they grow perfectly into one another. So if you have the opportunity of getting 4 or 5 or even 6 of them, planting them together, creating a nice little beautiful mini mass planting, and it creates the most rich visual appeal in your garden because you can see it from a mile away with all the big beautiful blooms for months all summer long.
Wow.
And this is what you can expect by July. And then it never stops. It just keeps going and growing and growing and growing all summer long. And again, this is a perennial. It blooms like any annual wish it could bloom, but it's perennial, winter hardy down to -10 degrees below zero.
You buy it once and it comes back over and over again. You know what? This would be one of those. By the way, how many gone? 250 sets already gone. And you get one, but this is just the beginning. We have 1,200 left. Here's what I want to tell you is that this would be a good build to, ship to plant, I bet.
Oh, yes.
Because for Mother's Day, you know, it just say, Mom, I sent you something that I know you're going to love, and all you have to do is plant it in a pot, or she can plant it in the ground because it is winter hardy down to -10. But I just think, like you say, you know, as they used to say, you get a lot of bang for your buck, right?
Yeah.
Because you spend the money, but you get a lot. I love what Devin said about mass plantings, because my husband likes to do that with sun patients. And so, you know, so it's probably about 12 feet wide and about 10 feet, you know, and it's actually kind of on a little bit of a slope. And so imagine if you did a mass planting with this, it would be outstanding.
Absolutely, just striking. I love these yellow maroon flowers. They can get quite large, up to 6 inches across. These are fantastic. A plant like this really doesn't come along very often, maybe once in a lifetime or so.
Yeah.
So this is special. At all of our trial gardens, it gets the most flags. Again, that's how they vote on which plants you like. You put a flag by it, then every day we go count the flags. And this one has the most flags from early all the way till the end in September. It's just a fantastic, fantastic plant. I can't stress it enough.
The pollinators love it, but the deer don't.
Really do.
So that's another great thing, because if you have a lot of deer, they don't really care for these because the leaves are fuzzy and they feel amazing. But that right there was one plant, and look how big it is, Court.
Yes, it's incredible, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps going and going like an annual, but it's perennial. It comes back every single year. It's such a profuse bloomer. They branch out well. They fill in spaces. I love it with the red cannas that you see in the foreground. And they're great with echinaceas, with lavender. Any sun-loving plant that does not need a lot of water, they pair well with. So there's the marigolds in front. But this is spectacular.
Beautiful marigolds in front. I like that. One quick question. I'll have to ask my producer, but do we have a picture of Sandra's garden with these? Because that's, somebody told me that.
I know that she has shown it before. You know, here's an interesting story. Last year, this was our finale plant. We sold it right around Mother's Day. There's Sandra's in her garden, and notice all the little petals there. So Sandra and I decided, let's start the season with this plant, and we did, and we sold out. But this was one that we were able to get a few more in, so we're presenting them today for the second time.
Okay, I gotta update everybody. So we started this show with about 1,400 of these, and how many do we have left? We'll find out.
Okay.
We started this show with about 1,400 of these. We have fewer than 1,000 of these to go around. People are buying multiples. They're buying 2, 3, 4, etc. And you know, like, I think to myself, if you have an area in your yard where, as long as it gets sun, full sun, you could do a border of these. You know, if you wanted to kind of, you know, kind of edge your property a little bit, you could do that with these, right?
Yes, and even if it's way out in the back 40 where the hose won't reach, you plant these, because they will hold up to drought conditions, heavy sun once established. Or if you don't have a big yard, look, in containers, and you saw the picture of Eric's in a container. They're awesome in containers or in the ground. Let me show you that picture one more time.
Right. That was so beautiful. They almost look like sunflowers, but in a smaller, look at that.
Yes, and that's by July.
Yeah.
So this is a spectacular plant. It's one that doesn't come along but once in a lifetime.
How would we use the Bounty, the Roberta's Bounty all-purpose plant food?
I'm so glad you asked.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
This is such a profuse bloomer that you would want to feed this one for sure. So 1 tablespoon of Roberta's Bounty. And now, Mary Beth, you remember that we used to offer 2 types of plant food. One was the food and one was micronutrients. Well, we are the only ones now in the United States that combine both. So 1 tablespoon will make a gallon of plant food, and then you just pour in water. I would do it every 2 weeks.
Oh, excellent. 450 of these are gone. The price tag again, $31.25. If you wanted to buy multiples, now it's going to show everybody the pot that it comes in, but then at what point should we repot it in a bigger pot?
Okay, so this is a full half-gallon size pot that you're
Yeah.
getting right out of the box. So it's a built to, ship to. It's a spectacular open, I like to say. When they open it, they're going to be calling you right away. It's not a little dinky pot like this. So then from this size pot, you could put it up to a 1 or 2 gallon pot, whatever you get around.